What's happening, everyone? We are going to we are going to take a look at secondary progressions to explain exactly what they are for the channel. So the main website that you need to use is astroseek.com. Okay? And then you're going to click on secondary progressions here. And secondary progressions is, in my opinion, the most powerful astrological tool that you can use if you're a student of astrology. Right? So secondary progressions are basically taking how your natal chart, the signs that you were born under, and then how they are progressed to what age you currently are. And what this will show you is the ability to see how the signs that you have always identified with, how they've progressed into new signs, and then now there is an added flavor and an added layer to your chart. So if I'm a Sagittarius sun, Taurus moon, Aquarius rising. Since I've been learning about astrology, I've been really tapping into these parts of my chart, but something always felt a little different. Like sometimes I don't feel like a Sagittarius. My Venus is in Scorpio, and Venus in Scorpio is a particular flavor for a Venus sign. But then things have started to change as far as my experiences in love and dating and how I view relationships. Because what I notice is that my Venus in Scorpio has progressed to Venus in Sagittarius, which are two very different signs when it comes to Venus placements. So here we have AstroSeek. Okay, and then you can see here you are going to put in your normal birth time information, right? And then you are going to put in today's date. So let's put in mine. I was born December 11th, 1978. I know I look really damn good for a 46-year-old going on 47. I was born at 10:28 a.m. and I was born in Manila, Philippines. So I'm going to set the progression for today because I would just like to see and I would like to show you my birth chart compared to how it has progressed for me as a 46-year-old living in our world today. And then we will see. You're going to calculate the progressions here. Let me just make sure everything is correct. And it is. Now, AstroSeek is a lot. AstroSeek gives you a lot of information. You can see here is my chart and my progress chart. We're not going to take a look at that. Here are all of the different, dynamics between planets in my chart. The sextiles, the opposition, the trines, the conjunctions, right? So these are going to be the things that are easy aspects of my chart and more challenging aspects of my chart, where different placements in my chart flow pretty naturally. You're going to want to scroll down, and this is where it gets super interesting. Okay, so let me go ahead and zoom this in for you guys so we can take a look, right? So here is my natal chart, right? My natal chart, like I said, I am a Sagittarius sun, Taurus moon, and then if you scroll down, my ascendant is in Aquarius. Now, my chart currently, I have progressed to be an Aquarius. So I am an Aquarius now, which is my rising. But my sun, throughout the years, I went through a phase of being a Capricorn sun, which is super interesting because it definitely explains a lot of those years in my life where I definitely embodied more Capricorn energy. And then my moon, the moon, let me just explain this. I don't want to explain how long each sign progresses. I really recommend you go to Barbara Talks Astrology. Barbara is one of the most underrated astrologers, in my opinion. She is the one that has taught me so much about secondary progressions, and she does not get enough love on her channel because she is one of the most gifted astrologers on YouTube, in my opinion. Let me just see. Oh, here's my face. So I just want to have my face back up here so you guys see me. Hello, hello, hello. All right. So just a quick breakdown. From what I understand, the moon only stays. This my Taurus moon. This is my natal moon. This is one that I definitely identify and co-create with. Right. It's in a current progression of Capricorn. The moon stays in a progressed sign for 2.5 years, and then it'll move into something else. The sun stays in for a much longer period. I forget exactly how many years. Please go to Barbara, find her videos on secondary progressions. Oh, I don't want to even estimate because I don't want to give you false information. But then you can see here my Mercury has progressed from Sagittarius into the later degrees of Capricorn. So I have been communicating as a Capricorn in many ways for many, many years. And before I progressed into Aquarius, I was a Capricorn sun that was progressed. So I had a lot of Capricorn energy that I wasn't identifying with. And I'm going to be honest with you, the first time that I looked at my progressed natal chart, right? So again, shout out to Barbara Talks. The first time I checked out my progression chart, I was like, there is no way I'm a Capricorn. There is no way I'm this. There is no way I'm that. And I just dismissed it because I was a very stubborn astrologer, right? I have Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio in my big four. So I'm a very stubborn person. So the first time I read it, it really, like, I dismissed it and I was like, oh, there is no way I'm a Capricorn. There is no way I'm a Capricorn moon. I at the time had some preconceived notions about Capricorn based off of some Capricorns in my life. So that's a big problem in astrology, is that we really, really, really can be very stereotypical, prejudiced, biased towards certain signs. And for me, I'm healing that, and I'm evolving that. That is a very limited way of looking at astrology. I have so many students, where we talk about astrology in my high school class sometimes, and they come up to me and they're like, oh, I don't like Libras, I don't like this. And I'm just like, you have to do your best not to have that perspective, because now you're limiting your experiences with Libras. Just because one Libra in a particular placement that acts a certain way, it doesn't mean that all Libras are like that. And then, funny enough, this very student, when she broke down her chart to me, she has powerful placements in Libra, and it's definitely acting out in her life and her dynamics and what's going on. So it was just an example. So you can see here, this is your natal chart and your progress chart. So for me, I'm an Aquarius rising, right? I'll scroll down, and I'm an Aquarius rising here, right? But my sun has progressed into Aquarius in 6 degrees. So I forget when this exactly happened, but it's a recent thing, and it's like I feel more like an Aquarius than ever, right? I've been tapping into my Aquarius side, especially in the last year and a half of my life. And then once I realized this, it's like, whoa, okay, my sun is actually progressed into Aquarius. And the way that you can look at that is that you can combine all the things that you've identified with your sun. And for me, this, let me just get my face back up here so you see me. For me, this is all about fun and adventure and restlessness and philosophy and all those wonderful things about being a Sag, which I'm still very much about. But now my Aquarius side is coming out, and I am becoming more rebellious, more of a freak, more of a weirdo, and I'm owning it, right? I got this tattoo recently, which I'm sure you guys have seen in my videos, and I'm really embodying my Aquarius energy. Now, the thing that blew my mind is this Mercury and Moon in Capricorn, right? Mercury is about discipline. Mercury is about hard work. Mercury is about greatness. Mercury can be very hard on others and hard on themselves. They expect others to act with discipline and work ethic, and that's a shadow side of Capricorn. But one thing about Capricorn is becoming like the boss, like the authority. You don't tell a Capricorn what to do. And I thought that was a lot of my Aquarius side, which is very Aquarian. But then now that I'm looking at it with the flavor of Capricorn, it's really standing out. Another thing for me was that my Venus progressed from Scorpio into Sagittarius, right? So most of my life, and I have been dating recently in my life in the last 2 years. In my dating experiences, I get very obsessed as a Scorpio Venus, right? That's definitely one of the powers and challenges of Scorpio Venus. I get very obsessed. I think about the person a lot, and that's my anxious attachment style, right? But recently I started to really like focus, going from focusing to being on intense relationships to wanting to be in relationships that were more fun and adventurous and lighthearted. And it was like a breath of fresh air, because Venus and Scorpio, which is still very much who I am and what I am, right? Venus and Scorpio was way too intense for me. So once I saw this and I realized, like, whoa, I'm actually in 19 degrees of Sagittarius in my Venus sign, this gave me this clarity of like, this is why relationships and dating is becoming more light. This is where I'm like, instead of focusing on that connection and wanting that connection to run its course and just clinging on to it and being obsessed with it, it really got to the point where it's like now dating is more fun, dating is more light. It's definitely more of this fire energy and Venus, this Sagittarius energy, which I'm really embracing, and I'm really glad it's come into my life because I didn't really realize it until I looked at my progression. I was still very much in this intense Scorpio energy in dating and in connections, and then now I'm becoming a little bit more carefree, and it's like really, again, it has been amazing. So if you are interested in a secondary progression chart reading, if you are interested in studying your secondary progressions, hit me up. Right, my email is in the YouTube description. Right, I'm happy to do a live reading for you and help you discover further your path in astrology. The channel is going to do secondary progression readings for celebrities. This is going to be something that I'm really hoping to take on as the next phase of the channel. And I'm really excited about it because it'll give us insights into how celebrities have changed, how their music has changed. We'll do a tarot card reading and explain the tarot card for the signs that they had in their natal chart and how they progressed and how that's reflecting in their music. So I'm really excited about this. Again, if you're ever interested in a personalized live reading, my email is in the description. Hit me up. And the first session will be 50% off. I'll let you know what the price will be if you are interested in doing a reading with me, and then we'll take it from there. But definitely look out for the videos and study your secondary progression because it is really, really, really powerful. So yeah, good luck to everyone, and I hope that this was helpful to you. Take care and check out the videos that will be coming up. We are just testing this out. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am just testing y'all on this. Oh, that's not it. Okay.